Come in. Take a seat.
Thanks.
I'm Cherish.
Tim.
Tim? Hi, Tim. How are you today?
Been better.
Been better?
Yeah.
I understand. So what brings you... before we start, I just want to let you know, anything that you say in this room, it will be confidential unless, danger to yourself or danger to others comes out. Do you understand what I mean by that?
Yeah, but what if I talk about, drugs and stuff?
That's confidential here. Okay, as long as I know you're not hurting yourself, you're not going to hurt anybody else, we're good to go. You okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. So what brings you in today?
Well, I got in trouble for, having a dime bag on me at school.
Okay. Have you been using or just selling?
Both.
Both? Okay. And what's in this dime bag?
Pot.
Pot? Okay. How long have you been selling and using pot?
Well, I've been using pot since I was 12.
12? And how old are you now?
16.
16? Okay.
I've been selling for about a year.
Okay, for about a year.
Yeah.
When you were 12, do you know why you first started smoking or when you first picked it up? Do you remember that day?
It's just what people do in my neighborhood.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of neighborhood do you live in?
Well, it's not that great place, I don't feel. It's it's safe, but it's kind of the ghetto,
Okay. Okay. So you don't really remember exactly the day that you started. You kind of just picked it up. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
And now, since you were 12, do you smoke pretty regularly, or do you smoke once a week, twice a week, once a month?
Well, now I smoke, every day, probably a little bit, not a whole lot. Some days more than others, but when I first started, it was just, maybe once a week.
So it's increased a little bit.
Yeah.
What kind of feeling do you get from smoking? Does it do anything for you, or
Just makes me relaxed.
makes you relax? So you smoke to feel relaxed? Is that what I'm hearing you say?
Yeah, I think it was just to kind of chill.
Just kind of. Are you often stressed?
Well, yeah, life's hard, poor.
Poor.
It's just me and my mom.
It's just so you have no other family at home?
Yeah, so, she works, but it's not enough to support us.
Okay.
Um,
I can imagine that's pretty rough, pretty tough on you. Do you support your mom at all? Are you doing anything, do you have a job?
Well, I sell drugs.
So you're selling drugs to help your mom, is that what you're
Yeah.
saying? So what do you think your mom thinks? Do you think she knows where you're getting this money from? Or what do you tell her?
Well, I tell her I work construction on the weekends for this guy in the apartment building we live in.
Okay, do you think she believes you?
I think she wants to believe me.
Okay.
I don't know if she thinks it's the truth.
So supporting your mom seems like it's a pretty big importance to you.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you ever feel bad that, what are your feelings when you give her this money that you're not necessarily getting from construction?
I don't know. I don't feel anything. That's just, it's a job.
Okay.
To me, it might be illegal, but what's wrong? I don't see any harm in it, really.
Okay. Now, what about school?
What about it?
Are you going?
Sometimes when I feel like it, it usually isn't that often.
Is there anything, in the future that before maybe you started selling drugs that you saw yourself doing in the future for a job or a career? Is there anything you like to do?
I like to play music.
You like to play music? Okay. Did you ever think about, furthering your education for music? Maybe becoming some type of music instructor or a producer? Anything like that?
Yeah, but that's pipe dreams, so
Understandable.
Musicians don't ever, don't make it a lot of times, and then it's expensive to go to school, and we don't have that kind of money,
I understand.
barely make the bills.
And that's completely understandable, but at the same time, do you think you'd feel accomplished doing something like that?
Yeah, but I mean, I still just make music with my friends.
Okay.
No, I'd rather just do that.
Just do that. Now, you did mention you sell drugs and you know it's illegal, but at the same time, you're supporting your mom. What would happen, if you don't mind me asking, if you got caught selling those drugs? Would you be able to support your mom?
Well, no, then I wouldn't be able to.
So did you ever think of anything like that, like the repercussions or what you could do to maybe go about a different route to make that money to help your mom so you wouldn't end up, getting yourself in trouble and not being able to do that?
No, I mean, it really wasn't like something I thought about. It just kind of happened, I never really thought about getting a regular job.
Now, what I've noticed so far that we've been talking, you're really concerned about your mom. You like to help, right? And you're also kind of stressed, but at the same time, you understand what you're doing is wrong, but you don't really want to stop because it's helping your mom, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. What if you did something maybe a little bit more on the line of getting a job, like a regular job to support your mom, but something that would interest you, like working downtown at the music store. I know they hold some lessons for kids, or making music, maybe being a DJ for some, at the skating rink or anything of the sort like that.
That stuff's all hard to get into,
Do you think it's hard? Have you tried?
No.
No. Have you ever filled out an application?
No.
Do you know how to?
I don't know. I've never filled it out.
Okay. Would you maybe consider doing so if I would sit down with you and maybe help you? Maybe work on one?
Guess.
Well, the way I see it is if, you do something that you enjoy doing, you make some money, and you support your mom, and there really is no way to get caught or get in trouble, right? Maybe it'll take some of the stress off of you from doing illegal things, so you're not smoking so much.
Yeah, but I won't make nearly as much money as I do selling pot.
That is true. There is that, but at the same time, do you think that there's any, what would happen if you did get caught, or have you ever been scared before when you're selling drugs?
Well, yeah. Who wouldn't be?
Okay. Have you ever gotten into fights over drugs? Have anybody stole anything from you?
Not really. I've never sold a whole lot at once though either. I've heard of stuff like that happening.
Yeah. Now, the drugs that you keep. Now, remember, everything's confidential, so you don't have to answer if you don't want. But do you store them in your house?
Yeah.
Did you ever think of maybe something could happen, maybe somebody breaking in or, cops coming by? Because that really wouldn't end up being on you. It'd end up being, the owner of the house's fault. So that could end up turning into your mom's.
Yeah. But I guess that's the chance I have to take though, in order to make the money.
But would you want that to happen?
No, of course not. I wouldn't want anything bad to happen to my mom.
Because again, you seem like you care about your mom a lot. Everything that you're doing is for her.
Mm-hmm.
But do you think she would be very happy if she knew where the drug money, or if she knew where the money was coming from?
No, probably not. She'd be real mad.
Okay.
Because my dad did drugs and sold them.
Your dad did drugs?
Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever met your dad?
No.
No? Do you know where he is now?
No, I have no idea. It's kind of MIA.
Okay, so he did drugs and he sold drugs and he got in trouble in the past. Okay, so it's kind of a history of family stuff going on. Has anybody else in your family been, using, or is there a history of abuse?
I don't know. I just figured everybody did drugs,
Does your mom have any history with, drugs or drinking?
I think she used to, but she doesn't do anything anymore.
Okay. She's pretty against that kind of stuff. Is that what
Yeah.
you're going to say? Okay. So, do you think there is a way that we can maybe come to terms with trying to find something else positive to help you, one, to help you de-stress, because I know that you're using the drugs to help you calm down a little bit. But at the same time, do you think there's anything that we can maybe discuss to try to help you stop selling and maybe bring in income in a different way? Because you seem to be pretty affected by your mom and how much she cares about you and how much you care about her. And I don't see you wanting to disappoint her. So do you think that there's something else that we can maybe do together to, try to help you out to keep, you out of trouble?
I guess I could fill out some applications.
Is there anything that you really would like to maybe work at that you thought of in the past?
Well, I really like the music store, like downtown.
Okay. Well, I know they're probably hiring, and they do hold a lot of classes with little kids. How do you feel about working with kids and teaching them music and helping them out?
Oh, I don't know.
You don't know?
I never dealt with little kids before.
No, you don't. But you seem like you're a pretty helpful person. Do you think it might make would it make you feel nervous, or do you think it would make you feel kind of good to help them out? Maybe keep them off the street a little bit.
I mean, be nervous because I've never taught anybody anything before.
Okay. Would you give it a shot?
If they'll hire me, yeah.
Okay. Well, what if we fill out an application together? We'll go over the stuff. We'll maybe do some interview skills so you can go down there and maybe try to get a job. What instrument do you play?
The drums.
The drums. Okay, well, you'll probably maybe have to put a piece of music together and demonstrate that you know what you're doing. How does that make you feel? Maybe showing off some of your skills a little bit.
Well, that makes me nervous because I don't know how to read music.
So it's just all by ear?
Yeah.
Wow, that's an incredible skill. Not a lot of people have that. Did you teach yourself that?
Yeah.
Okay,
Well, I just learned, from playing with other people.
Well, that's a really cool talent. But that's another good thing. I mean, if you want to further your career eventually in music one day, you will have to know how to read music and write music. And I'm sure that they can probably do a switch off where they start, maybe teaching you how to read some music while at the same time, you're also having a job and helping them out. How do you feel about that?
That'd be cool.
Pretty cool. All right. Well, I think that's maybe something that we can definitely look forward to trying to do. Maybe during next session, come down. We'll reconvene. We'll fill out some applications and maybe get that started. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay. Is there anything else that you wanted to talk about today?
No.
No? Okay. So just to summarize, we talked about you today, and we got to meet, and it's very nice meeting you. We learned that you're, a little stressed out, and we're going to try to work on that, try to help you out and, do different, techniques and styles to keep you calm instead of, going back to smoking. It will be a challenge, but we'll definitely work on that and try to get you to use some other coping skills to help you out. Then we will also, we talked about you helping your mom, supporting your mom, but by not selling drugs. So we're also going to have to maybe work on those applications and maybe learn some interview techniques to help you out and maybe get you started.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Well, that's what we will talk about then. And I'll see you next week.
Okay.